Installation and configuration of the ㍍TIME 7.0. So let's start with the ㍍TIME 7.0 installation procedure. You can get the installation package from the website zetketecho.me, and you can just get the setup and run as administrator. Then you can choose the English for the further installation, like language. And there is a procedure starting from here. You can start an agreement, you can agree for this and go to the next page. And this is the path where ㍍TIME 7.0 going to install on your server side. And this is the port number which we are going to use for ㍍TIME 7.0 as well as device to ㍍TIME 7.0 communication. So you can set it this time, or later you can change it also. So let me set it at 0, and I'm giving the add firewall exception option. And this software can support 3 type of databases, as well as it has a default database called PostgreSQL. So if you want to use the default database, go with this. Otherwise you can configure the other database. So for time being, we will go with the default database. Later on installation, I will show you how to change the database. Then install. Then it will take some time to proceed with the installation procedure. So let's wait for this. So the installation process finished. So you can restart the computer, or it will be depends, but better we suggest to restart the PC. So for time being, I'm just choosing no, I will restart later. Okay, so the installation is completed. So after installation, you can just check whether everything is completed. You can check the ㍍TIME server controller. Okay, this is the icon should appear here after installation. So you can right click here, run as administrator. Then when you run as administrator, this one, you can see a icon which will be appeared here in the taskbar. You see, server controller. So this is the configuration manager that we have for ㍍TIME 7.0. When you right click on this, you can see the settings. The port number we set on the installation, you can change from here also. For example, this one. Okay, and the second option is database configuration. So as I mentioned, there is a Postgre default database. If you want to configure to other databases, we can do from here. And this is just service settings. You can start and stop if you have some procedure to do in the installation or in the package or something like this. And this is license information. In the license information, you can see a unique product code. This is the code that we are using for generating the license key for ㍍TIME 7.0. So if you send to sales, they will give you a license key. You can copy here and activate. So you have the privilege to connect the machines as per the license. These all are the setups. So after installation, if you want to open directly, there will be an icon in the desktop, or you can try the normal host IP. So if there is some issues like this, you can check whether the service are running or not. You can take the server controller, service settings. You can see the services all are running or not. So you can see NGINX service is closed. That means the port number is using by another application. So you can stop it and change the port number to other one, because we used in the installation 80. Maybe this port number already using by another application. So this is the error that you can see from here. So let's change the port number now. I'm just trying to put 8008, and you can test the port number here. Okay, then you can start the service again. Okay, the login page is processing. You can see there is 2 login. You can start the software. The default username and password for our application is admin, and password is also admin. This is the login page with the dashboard and all these things. So let's see how to change the database, because currently it's working on the default database, but we mostly recommend on SQL side, SQL Server or MySQL or Oracle. So we will stop the service and we will try to create a new database in SQL. I will show you how to do the SQL configuration to the BioTime. So let's open SQL Server configuration, the studio. And from server controller you can choose database configuration. Here you can see now currently it's working on default database. So you can choose SQL Server, and it needs this much credentials like database name, username and password of SQL, and host address of SQL. So if you have SQL on the same system, you can give the 127, the host IP. Otherwise you need to put the destination of the SQL Server IP. And the port number, normally it's defaults 1433. If you have SQL with different port number, you can configure this one. So let's create a new database which we can configure to BioTime. So I'm logging to the SQL Server. So let me create one database. Right click on the database, new database. Okay, so let's create a database here with BioTime name. So I will name it BioTime 7.0 or BioTime_DB. The main thing when you create database from different login, there should be privileges for creating, reading and writing all these things. So you can see the database here, BioTime_DB, and you can see here what all things you need. Okay, so let's put BioTime_DB, and username is SC, because I configure the username and password like this. Let me put my password, and host address, because it's on same PC, so I can put this one, or my PC IP, it's optional. But there is a chance like maybe this IP address, this host address cannot be connected. So you can check here in SQL configuration manager, this one, because there will be some default settings when you install the SQL. So we need to just double check. You can go to SQL network configuration manager, protocols for SQL, right click, open, and you can see here TCP IP. It should be enabled stage because BioTime will connect the SQL using the IP. And if you want to check the port number, right click on TCP IP, properties, IP address. You can check the IP4 and IP all. Here you can see it's okay with this IP login, and this is the port number. If there is different, you need to configure. And the IP all also the port number is 1433. So here if it is this type of settings, it's fine. If you change something here, you need to just right click on this, restart, like you can stop and start. So just restart the SQL Server if you have done some changes. And one more thing, you can check this is services like running or stopped condition. Sometimes it will not open until it's connected running stage. So let's try. After you configure, you need to test connection. So if it is proper connection, you will be getting a message like this: database connected, testing successfully, need to save. So let's save the settings and you can start synchronize database. This means this will have a script to run all the tables same like BioTime software, which will create the tables in our SQL DB within a fresh database BioTime_DB. So it will take some few minutes. So let's wait for finishing this table creation. So if it is MySQL server or Oracle server, same scenario, you need to create a new schema database in MySQL or Oracle, and the username and password of the destination server and host address. And when you create the test connection, it should be successful. Otherwise, there will be some changes you need to do on host address or port number from your SQL or database management servers. So once the initialization completed, you will get a message like this: please restart the server. So you need to close this and you need to just go to server controller again, right click, server settings. You need to just start the services for the further operation. So once all the services are running, you can start using software. So these all are the steps involved in the database configuration and as well as the installation procedure. So after you change database, you can just double check the software is opening or not. It's working. You can use the same default password and username admin. Okay. So that's it regarding the installation and configuration of DB. Thank you.